Hi guys, it's Lucy, and today there is no heat or hot water in my house, so I am freezing cold, and pray for my limbs because I think I'm losing feeling in my fingers. Hi guys, it's Lucy, and today I'm going to be doing my December wrap-up. Late. Yay. I tried to put a candle in the background to make it seem like I care about room decor, but then the camera tried to keep focusing on the candle instead of me, so the candle had to go. Today's video is going to be a wrap-up. It is extremely late. These are the last books I read in 2015, and let's get into it. The first book I read during the month of December was Welcome to Night Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. This was actually not really the first, I started this in November and I finished it on December 25th, 24th. I finished it like right around Christmas. So yeah, it took me almost a whole month to read. Not through any fault of the book, but I had finals, I had school, I had no time. But then when I got home, I had like 200 pages left and I flew through them. Yeah, this was a really good book. I gave it 5 stars. You guys know I had been looking forward to this book for so long and talked about it in my favorites of 2015 video, and I did a whole review on it where I will say more of my thoughts, and you can click on that review down below and also on the screen or in that corner. I'm not sure which corner. The next book that I read during the month of December was similar to Welcome to Night Vale in that basically I started in November and then finals and school happened, so I finished it right after I finished Welcome to Night Vale. I was reading these basically at the same time. So yeah, the next book I read was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This book was great. This book is about a boy named Kel who has the ability to travel between Londons to different parallel worlds. There's Red London, where Kel is from, White London, and Grey London. And Kel can travel between all of them. He is the only person from his London that can do that. And his job, as the only person who can do that, is to deliver messages between the king of his London to the leaders of the other Londons. And it is about him, and sometimes while he is on his travels, he smuggles random items, and this book is about him doing him, and maybe the smuggling gets him in trouble. I don't know, you have to find out. I give this book 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Everything about it was great. The characters were great. The plot was great. The magic system, great. The different Londons, great. I gave it 4.5 stars instead of 5 stars just because I didn't feel that 5-star feeling, you know? This was kind of another book where I felt like it could have been a standalone, but for once, I'm glad it isn't. The sequel, A Gathering of Shadows, is coming out in February, I think. I think I saw that somewhere, and I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see where it goes. The next few books I read for Booktubeathon. I did a whole vlog / wrap-up for the holiday Booktubeathon, which hopefully is up by now. I haven't edited it yet, so hopefully I got my stuff together and edited it and it's up on my channel, so I'll link that down below so you can see, you know, how I felt more in the moment, I guess. The first book that I read was The Program by Suzanne Young. This is a YA dystopian about a girl named Sloane who lives, I think it's the not so distant future because nothing about it seems really that futuristic, so the not so distant future where suicide has become an epidemic and people are doing everything in their power to prevent people from committing suicide. So one of these things is that if any teenager shows any signs of being depressed, they are immediately sent into the program, no questions asked. And this is about Sloane trying to keep herself and her boyfriend from being sent into the program. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. This was much more of a romance than anything else. I felt more like the dystopian was a little secondary, which I did not mind. The dystopian aspects of it, I think, were well fleshed out enough for the purposes of the story, and I really enjoyed it. And I sort of started reading the second one, which is The Treatment, but I had to put it down because I'm taking part in TBR Takedown and the biannual Bibliothon, which I will link my TBR for those down below. So yeah, I had to put it down. But this one was really good. Next, I read To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This book is about a girl named Lara Jean who writes letters to every boy she's ever loved, every boy she's had a crush on, and when she wants to end the crush, she writes them a letter and then seals it away just for her. Like, she knows she wrote it, and like they're just away in her room. She never actually sends them out. But then one day, the letters do get sent out, not by her, obviously, and then antics ensue. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a super cute romance. Basically, I liked it a lot. There was a lot of family dynamic stuff, which was really cool and like nice to see. Her family was so great. Like I wanted to become a part of it. And then I just really related a lot to Lara Jean and her personality for whatever reason. So that was another reason it was really great for me. There is diversity in this book because Lara Jean and her sisters are all half Korean, and it is not just mentioned once and then swept under the rug. It is mentioned enough, I think. Not so much that the whole book is about her racial identity. Like there are mentions of family dinner where like they cook Korean food and then they go visit her grandma from her Korean side of the family and they do like Korean traditions, and it's really great to see, and I think it's really important. I did have 2 little issues with this book, which were that I felt like the letters were not used enough. They were kind of mentioned in the first half of the book and then mostly forgotten about in the second half. And then there was also the issue of female friendship. While Lara Jean is very close with her sister, she doesn't really have that many friends outside of her family. She has one friend and she's kind of like a meh friend. Like they're best friends, but their friendship didn't really make sense to me. So yeah, that was an issue I had. But overall, I really did like the book, so much so that I picked up P.S. I Still Love You almost immediately after. So yeah, the next book I read in December was actually not this book, but I'm going to skip that because it makes no sense to talk about that book and then talk about another book and then go back to this. So yeah, so this is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I was doing so well. And yeah, this is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I really liked it. I liked it more than To All the Boys I've Loved Before because I gave it 4.5 stars. It just made everything that I liked about the first book even better. Everything was even cuter. I felt like Lara Jean grew as a person in this one. I will say, though, that both the books felt like one book, if that makes any sense. Like, it just felt like a continuation, and I guess that's mostly due to how the first book leaves off. But yeah, but I still really, really enjoyed it. 4.5 stars is not, like, bad by any means. I really liked it. I was going to do a series review for this and To All the Boys I've Loved Before, but it's been, like, 2 weeks, so I guess that ship has sailed. The last book that I read in December, and also the last book I read in 2015, was not this book. It was P.S. I Still Love You. But second to last was My True Love Gave to Me by various authors, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This is an anthology of a bunch of holiday stories. I was correct in my TBR, I think, or something. In my Booktubeathon TBR, I was like, there must be New Year's stories, and there are. So yeah, this was a great story. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It gave me all the warm and fuzzies. And yeah, my favorite story in this was Midnights by Rainbow Rowell, and my least favorite was Beer Buckets and Baby Jesus by Myra McIntyre. I don't really know how to say anything. I gave it 4.5 stars because I really enjoyed it. It gave me all the warm fuzzies. Even though I only gave 2 of these stories 5 stars, just the overall feeling this collection of stories gave me was 4.5 stars. So overall, I think I had a really good reading month. I super enjoyed everything I read, which is fantabulous. It was a great way for me to end the year, and I had a really good time. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about any of the books I talked about during this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below. I'd love to talk to you about it. If you like seeing me talk about books, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Shows any surprise. But second to last was, what does it say? This was Midnights by Rainbow. Talk about books, then I was so close.